And let's bring this full circle if we can. How selfish is it of us to give ourselves credit, but by doing so, I don't know about you, but when I give myself credit, when I'm my own hype girl, I can then go to my friends and my family, and when they're down in the dumps, I can say, all right, now tell me 2 things that went right today. And I was so damn selfish. I was so damn self-centered on giving myself the credit that I deserve, that I've learned how to pull it out of other people. And now they're going to focus on that, and they're going to go to their friends, and we're going to create this ripple effect naturally.
Yes.
Of,
oh my gosh.
Be more selfish. Give yourself the damn credit.
You are listening to the Beyond the Classroom podcast, a podcast for burnt-out teachers who know something's gotta give. After teaching for 14 years and feeling completely burned out for way too long, in May of 2022, I made a big decision and left the classroom. I now help burnt-out teachers like you take back balance and joy so you can wake up every day loving your life. In this podcast, we'll explore who you are beyond the classroom, whether you're considering leaving or wanting to make changes so you can fall in love with teaching again. Either way, I understand what it's like to be living a life that looks fun and cute on the outside. You know, summer's off, playing all day, off at 2 o'clock every day, but actually feels miserable and draining. I'm your host and coach, Sandy Patterson, and I'm so excited to help you step into your fullest potential and believe in that potential to make an impact on the world, not just survive each day. Are you ready? Let's do this. Hey there, and welcome back to another episode of the Beyond the Classroom podcast. I am Sandy Patterson, certified life and business coach, and your host, of course. Now, I'm so excited today to share this interview episode with you. In this episode, I'm interviewing Liv Fox, who is also a certified life coach, and she's also a former teacher, so she totally gets it. And in this episode, we talk all about making big changes in our lives, doing things scared, and just really taking messy action and being okay with it. And we're really talk a lot about rewriting the story that putting your needs ahead of everybody else's is selfish. I know you're going to love this episode. You're going to love Liv. There are so many great little gems throughout this whole entire chat. So I can't wait for you to listen to it. I also wanted to give you a little trigger warning here. In this episode, we do talk about abusive relationships. So just wanted to warn you, feel free to listen or not. It's whatever you're comfortable with. Also, if you or someone you know is in an abusive relationship, there are resources for you in the show notes. So please feel free to check those out and utilize those resources. You guys enjoy this episode. I know you're going to love it. Hello there, and welcome back to another episode of the Beyond the Classroom podcast. I am so excited today to have Liv Fox with us here today. Liv, welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm beyond excited to be here and chat with you.
Yay! Beyond the Classroom, beyond excited. Love it. It's perfect. Okay, so Liv, share a little bit about your background, your work experience, like where you live now, just kind of a little bit about you. Any fun facts you want to share with us?
Oh man, fun facts. Let's see if I can come up with any. So I am native to Ohio and currently planning to move out to Utah. So my ultimate goal is just to be as worldly as possible. And you know, I'm one of those cheesy people who says the earth is my home. So wherever I am is where I want to be, and I want to experience all of it. Really excited for that. Yeah. Slightly nervous. It's daunting, right, to move across the country, and it's changing my entire life because my background to this point has been Ohio. My work experience, like I started in customer service. I have been a photographer. I still dabble in that. I actually did maternity photos last night. I have been a bartender, which I find so much joy in. Like I don't drink much, but I will make the drinks until the end of time. And I went to college at Ohio State. I got my bachelor's in communications. I proceeded to not use any of my degree because it just didn't feel in alignment with me. It was something I felt I needed to do, right? Not something that I wanted to do. And then with this degree that I just chose to never use, I went into education. I have substitute taught. I have taught 5th grade. And it was 2022. I think I made this change within about 2 weeks that I found Inner Glow Circle. And right before the program was starting, I said, I want to go through this. And I just took that moment to change my entire story. And
oh my gosh.
I'm fed up with education. This is not what brings my heart and my soul joy. But I think that helping people in this different form would be. And 6 months later, I was kind of making my transition out of education and into coaching.
Yes, I love it. And that's why, I mean, you and I connected right away. Like, we both have similar backgrounds, similar, the same exact, like exactly what you just said. Like, I was fed up and I needed to change, but I still wanted to help people. And I think, on this podcast, yes, we talk a lot about education. Well, actually, I don't even talk a lot about education at all. It kind of feels like a thing of the past for me now. But I talk to former teachers who have made big changes in their lives. I think because teaching is a career that we go into and we think that this is what we're going to do for the rest of our lives. I'm sure you probably thought the same thing too. So, and for those of you that don't know, Liv mentioned Inner Glow Circle. That is the coaching certification program that we both went through. We went through it at different times, but our paths have crossed, and I'm just so excited to have this connection now. So Liv, tell us a little bit about how you knew it was time to make that big change in your life.
I love this question so much. And I'm going to preface it with this. I very much, at least I think I do, have a lot of unpopular opinions. So
all good.
My biggest trigger for change was COVID. Like, I will never undermine what happened that year and what so many people went through. And I am eternally grateful for that year because it provided me with just the slowdown, the stopping point that I didn't know I needed to really reconnect with myself, to recreate myself. Because leading up to 2020, I was in just an incredibly, I won't even say toxic relationship. It was an abusive situation. It was, something that I was young and I got myself intertwined with. So as the end of 2019 rolled around and I separated myself from it, 2020 hit and I was like, this is a new decade. This is going to be great. 3 months later, the world shut down. And I said, okay, what now? It's like I just went through this almost hiatus in my own life unintentionally. And as I came out of that and I unfroze a little bit, it came back to life, all of a sudden the entire world said, no, we're going to take a break, actually. So I was very fortunate to have family down in Florida who said, we have 4 kids, they're at home, will you come down here? You're in education, will you teach them? Will you, take care of them? Because neither one of their parents were able to stay home.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I got in my car and I drove all the way down to Fort Lauderdale.
Oh my
It is
gosh.
not a drive that I recommend doing by yourself.
Yeah.
And while I was down there, just because of how the world was, I was able to really get back in touch with myself. I rediscovered a lot of the loves that I have in my own life that I had forgotten about, right? Because when you're with someone else that overshadows you and when they downplay what you love, you just shy away from it naturally. And for the first time in years, I was able to say, oh my gosh, I really love this. I forgot how much I like road trips and traveling. And to bring that back to me, all of these changes started happening that year.
Yeah.
Where I remembered who I was. And even now, like, I can feel the goosebumps go through me just remembering that feeling. And a year after that was when I started looking and I said, I want that feeling that I had in 2020 where I knew exactly who I was, what I wanted. But when the world opened up again, I went back into the education system and I said, this is not it. This does not set my soul on fire anymore. And I began looking.
Yeah, I think that's so brave of you. And you say it so nonchalantly too, like it just wasn't lighting me up anymore. But I think, well, I know that there's a lot of shame and a lot of guilt in that, because teaching is really like it's a profession of service. Like you are giving so much. And so to say this isn't filling me up anymore, it can feel really, really shameful, I think. I know that's how I felt at least too. So I love that you shared that it's okay to like not have it light you up anymore. Like you thought it would, but it just wasn't anymore. Or maybe it was at one point and it just wasn't anymore. So you took that, you made that big change and you put your foot down and took a stand and did what you wanted to do. And I also love too that you're talking about too, like who you are and like the things that you love, because I don't know, I know a lot of people, you know, you ask them, women as teachers, as moms, like you're like, what do you like to do? And you can't, like, we can't answer that question. Can you hear me okay?
I'm not going to lie, you cut out there for a second.
No, it's okay. I could tell kind of by your face. I was like, is she okay? No, it's totally fine. I was just
you went
don't
to
even
say
worry about it.
something.
Something really,
I'm
really
so
important.
Sorry. What were you saying?
Don't be sorry at all. I was just saying, I think that it's really brave of you to just not even admit, but to acknowledge that teaching wasn't lighting you up anymore. Like it's a job that people, I think it's a job of service, right? Like you are constantly giving, giving. So to say, this doesn't fill me up anymore can feel selfish, I think, for a lot of people. But you decided to just take a stand and put your foot down and say, this isn't it anymore. Maybe it was before in the past, but it wasn't at that moment. So tell us a little bit about how you made that shift out.
Well, it's really funny. First, thank you for just acknowledging all of that. And I love that you use the word selfish in there. This is something very near and dear to my heart. I do not believe selfishness is a bad thing. I said already, I have a lot of unpopular opinions. One of those is selfishness is the ultimate form of selflessness. So much so that I have gone through and looked at the definitions, and I have looked at the word selfless, and I look at less as, okay, a small amount of me. But I look at selfish, and when I compare that, I use that word ish. I'm like, well, what do I think? If I say it's hot-ish outside, well, it's kind of hot. And then I pull that definition into selfish, and I say, okay, what is selfish? It's kind of about me.
Yeah.
But so many times, right, we look at this definition of selfish, and we say, well, it's all about me with disregard to anyone else. And I think, no, it's kind of about us, because in the long term, and I think one mindset that I had then, I carry with me today, is that I want to be selfish because I know I cannot give the best of me to anybody else if I don't first take care of myself. If I stayed in an education system that was not serving me, was I really going to be good for those kids? Was I really going to influence the world the way that I wanted to? No, because I was burnt out. I was tired. Exhausted is a better word to use there. I was very disheartened in a lot of ways. And with you coming from the education system, I'm sure you can speak to this maybe. It can just be very disheartening to watch some things that are going on in the education system when the politics come into it, or these new methodologies.
Yeah.
And
100%.
There's so much restriction put on what you can do as a teacher, even when you know, like in your heart, this is what's good. And watching that, I watched myself become almost a shell of myself again. And I said, no, I'm not going to do that again. I'm not going to make myself small to fit in what they, right? The abstract they, the ever important. Who even are they that I'm trying
right?
to
Society?
please?
Yes. Yeah, no, that everything you just said resonates so much with me, because I was in a very, very, very similar, similar situation, similar feelings that you talk about, the burnout and the exhaustion. Like, that's not even it doesn't even come close to what it was. And when you said a shell of me, yeah, I was the same thing. I just wasn't showing up in my life, in my personal life, as a mom and as a wife and as a friend and as a daughter, and just for myself as who I wanted to be. And so I think the difference, though, is, and I want to point this out too in you, that most people will just settle for the way that it should be. And this, I hear this all the time, this is just how it is. This is just how it has to be. This is just how it is. It'll get better. This is just how it is. But you weren't willing to settle for that. And so it probably would have been a lot easier for you to just stay. Although you were miserable, at least it was familiar and it was comfortable, and you spent all of this time and money getting your teaching credential. It would have just been, you had a steady paycheck there, you had benefits there, but you decided to make a big change and take a big leap of faith in yourself. So that is something to be really proud of.
Well, thank you. And thank you for saying all that. And if I could even point out something you said, the way that we view things as, well, it should be this. And not only do we have that picture in our mind, but how often do we do this as well, especially as educators? We become our career.
Oh, 100%.
Yes.
Yes.
We forget that there's a being inside all of us. So for you to have your comment of, I wasn't being the mom I wanted to be, the wife, the daughter, the friend, all of these other aspects. And I think that's another piece of that selfishness is if you are burning yourself out trying to put food on the table or gain a steady paycheck or stay in this familiarity, when all of a sudden, if you don't recognize the person looking back at you, it is time to be selfish. It is okay to put yourself first and say, what do I have to do to be a better mom, to be a better wife, better friend, better daughter, husband, just spouse in general. For me, it's a dog parent.
Yes.
What is that going to be? And if that means leaving a career, it's okay, even if it's scary. And I loved in there as well, you said the comfort. You have a steady paycheck. And I had even, not me taking notes over here, I had written down already, we're creatures of comfort. Whether we admit it or not, the unknown, the unfamiliar, it can be terrifying. And
terrifying, even if it's miserable. Staying in that space where you are at least comfortable and you at least know what to expect. It's easier to do that than it is to take a leap, right?
It is. And I think that can be somewhere we get lost, is in the ease of life. And this may sound a little backwards for anybody who is ever listening that has been in this situation. My heart goes out to you, and you will likely identify with this. That relationship that I was in, it was miserable. 85% of the time, I was crying or heartbroken, but I knew what was coming. I always knew what to expect. There were nights of the week that I knew exactly what was going to happen, so I was able to prepare myself for it all day. So even walking away from that was a challenge, because I said, what do I do now? In that relationship, I was a stepmom to 4 boys. So I knew the days that I had them, I knew I had that purpose. And then I left, and they were gone. They had become my purpose. And now all of a sudden, those creature comforts that I had, even though so many of them were negative and harmful to me, I missed them because I knew what to expect. And I mean, that's so much of it. When you when you procrastinate doing the scary things, taking the uncomfortable action, it's that what if that gets in there. What if it goes wrong? And it's the change itself that I know for me personally is daunting and a little frightening. But I also know the flip side of that is change is the one constant in this life.
Yes.
And I love the irony there.
Complete irony. And we also, too, like, we only have one life here. I mean, how are we going to spend it? Are you going to spend it in that space where you are just miserable? I mean, and even for you, like, the situation, we're kind of comparing, you know, the education system and teaching to an abusive relationship. And I just, like you said, like, my heart goes out to you, and I hate that you even, or anybody that ever has to go through a situation like that. But again, like, you took a stand for yourself, and you put your foot down, and you made a decision, and you said, I'm no longer standing for this. I'm putting myself ahead of everything else. And you did it. I mean, how freaking scary was that? In both situations. I mean, while we're talking about it.
Well, and, you know, so much of it, yes, it was scary. And when I look back, I had to compare what was scarier. So for me, when I recognized that I was a shell of myself in both the relationship and in teaching, I had to ask what was scarier to me. Was it to stay in the relationship where I knew we would take one step forward and 3 steps back, and I would cry myself to sleep every night for the rest of my life? Or was it scarier to leave it and rediscover the world as I knew it before he was in my life? And then with education, was it scarier to remain in the system that I had started not to believe in, honestly? Was it scarier to keep that consistent paycheck and come home feeling beaten down every day and not have time for anything that brought me joy? Or was it scarier to leave and say, I've gotten this far in life, I will figure it out? And at the end of the day, the unknown wasn't as scary as the known, because the patterns that I was in, the repetitive behavior, the knowing what to expect was scary as, pardon my profanity, but that was scary as hell to me. I did not want to know exactly how my life was going to play out. And at the end of the day, I have come to, let's say, more of immortal goals. And I'm not so much concerned with tomorrow. I'm concerned with when I get to the end of my life, whether that is at 35, 65, 95, when I meet my maker, whoever you believe in, whatever your beliefs are, when you meet your maker, are you going to be able to say, I did what I could with the life you gave me? Or are you going to say, wow, I could have lived so much better? And with that, it becomes, well, am I living my purpose? Am I here? Am I fulfilling the reason that I'm on this earth? Staying in that relationship, I wasn't. Staying in the education field, I wasn't. And then it became scary, but it became purposefully scary.
You're almost kind of describing, like, I kind of like to look at it as like a tipping point, right? Where like it's scarier to stay than it is to actually take that jump and go and do the thing, right?
Absolutely.
I love it. So what did you do before, and we can talk either of these situations. I know we didn't kind of plan on talking about relationships, but it's here and it's all good. Yeah. So what did you do to set yourself up before you made these scary changes in your life?
Oh man, this one was a lot of just me and my mind. It really was. So much of it was mindset work and reading books. I am a sucker for cheesy quotes. I have been since I was 14. Pinterest and I became best friends for a while. Where I have all of these quotes saved that I would refer back to. And creating almost unofficial mantras was part of it. Reading these and reminding myself every day. I figured out my own personality. If you are familiar with the Enneagram, I have a friend who is very into it. And she was reading it to me at one point. And I am a type 4. So the romantic, the individualist, call it what you will.
Oh,
Well, as she's reading me this description, she read the unhealthy, and she said, no, I don't think that's you. And she read the healthy, or the average, and then the healthy. And the whole time I was silent. And I knew in my head, I said, I am so unhealthy right now. I couldn't say a thing. I felt so called out. I was almost offended. And I took that and ran with it. I got a book. I read all about the Enneagram, and I said, okay, how do I start taking care of myself? And knowing these things about myself, so much of it, I say my mind and me, it wasn't all mindset. It was remembering who it is in my mind. Who am I at my soul level? Because if you forget that, that's when change is, I guess, scarier than necessary. But when you remember who you are and you come home to yourself, you can be confident in yourself even when your future is unclear.
Oh, that's so beautiful. That is so true, right? Because we have to have like that 100% trust in ourselves that like you have your own back. Like I have my own back, and no matter what happens, if shit hits the fan, like I'm going to figure it out. I'm scrappy. We're going to be okay. Like everything's going to be fine. And so that, that's, you just said it a lot better than I did. Or I could.
I'm so glad. Thank you.
Yeah. So did you know let's just talk about teaching for a second. So when you knew, did you know before you were going to leave, or did you just leave on a whim?
I knew. I knew. I am very much that person. I will give chance after chance after chance until I know I've given as many as I can. And I did that with the education system, where I kept going back. And it's so silly when I knew I was done. I had a kid in class. He had a Mountain Dew can. That he knows they're not supposed to have soda in class.
Yeah.
And he says, Miss Fox, can I shotgun this? And I said, no, you cannot.
Oh my gosh.
Well, this kid proceeds to do it anyway. And I was like, this is ridiculous. So we're getting the janitor, getting the mop. And he's like, oh, don't tell the principal. Well, all of a sudden then, word is circulating. He's like, well, thanks, Miss Fox. And as the principal's asking me, why didn't you call us immediately? Said the bell was ringing. I was trying to get the classroom cleaned up. And unfortunately, in my experience, I have come to you for backup and not gotten any. So in this scenario,
you're gonna give him a lollipop?
Yeah.
Congratulate
like,
him?
Am I going to see him again in 5 minutes? More than likely. So I was going to deal with it on my own. And that was the final straw for me, where I said, I have given these kids, these administrators, these policies so many chances. And now I said, now it's my fault that I didn't do things the way they wanted when in the past I had. So...
Yeah, and I think it's hard, too, for people who are not teachers to understand, because there is this perception of, like, what teaching is, I think, from the outside is just, like, it's so easy and it's so fun, and if summer's off and you just get to hang out with the kids all day and, you know, you sing and paint and you're off at 3 o'clock or whatever, but it's just, it's so much more. And we could talk, like... we could do like a happy hour and just chat about those stories, or a whole nother episode, because I could go on and on. But I know I get it. I know what you mean. So okay, so tell me, what did you do after? So you're like, okay, I'm leaving teaching. Now what? What'd you do?
I mean, I kind of had a meltdown there for a minute.
As we do. Yes. Yeah.
I mean, I'm never going to say this was all rainbows and butterflies.
Heck no. Yeah. No.
There's crying on the floor and like rocking back and forth of, okay, how am I going to do this? I have pets that I have to care for. I have these bills that I have to make sure are paid. I need to feed myself. And I decided at the end of the day, when I found coaching, and I said, this is it. This is... what I want. And actually there was overlap there, which was helpful. because I wasn't quite done with education when I went through coaching. And with that, then I said, I have this. It might take a minute to build a business. That's okay. I could spend 5 years building a business, or I could spend 5 years being miserable and then begin. And for me, it was, I begin today. I would rather take baby steps now than 5 years from now try to say, well, I'll sprint. No, that's not feasible.
Yes. So, okay, you just touched on so many things. Absolutely. Like anything like a year from now, like what are you going to look back on and say, I wish I had started a year ago or 5 years ago or whatever, even like 6 months ago, even yesterday. Like there's no better time to start something than now, than yesterday, right? Just start it, just go. And then the other thing that you said, and now I can't remember because I didn't write it down. Shoot.
Oh, I know that problem so well.
There it goes. Yeah, it'll come back to me. Okay. Oh, and you're talking about building a business, because we talk a lot on this podcast about business building, and you're like, I knew it was going to take time.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a quick fix. I think we see so many things on social media, and just in general, we're inundated with so many like messages of like, click here and I'll fix this, or click here and you will replace your teaching income, or, oh, I did this in 3 months and it was an accident. And you're like, well, wait a minute. That's not actually how it is. So I just appreciate you saying that.
Well, I appreciate you bringing up social media. That is a topic that gets me a little fired up, because I believe it's created in us an instant gratification mindset as a collective whole. And it drives me up the wall. Absolutely insane. Because that's not, like you said, that's not the way that life works. We are never going to have this one-stop shop, quick fix. Oh, your life is going to magically transform overnight. It will not do it unless you put in the work. If you don't, you're going to be sitting in the same exact space. And we have this, like you said, on social media, we're inundated with everyone else's successes. We're seeing these stories, but what you don't see is behind the scenes. I'm very big on the highlight reel and the real reel. And I love posting the real reel. I'm not somebody who will sit down for hours and make content and be like, oh, this is so perfect. Everything I post online is messy and chaotic. And I usually want to go back and delete it, but it's authentic to me. There is no aesthetic. There is no on brand, because my brand is me, and me looks different every single day. And that's something that I wish I would preach from the mountaintops if I could.
Yes, I love it.
You doing your best is good enough, right? And you can't compare your real life to someone else's highlight reel.
Right, it's the highlights, exactly, 100%. Okay, tell me a little bit too about what advice would you give someone who is maybe in a situation where in their gut they're like, oh, I think I need to make this change, whether it's education, whether it's a job, whether it's a relationship, whether it's anything else. What would you tell them?
This is my favorite question. Let's say twofold, my answer. When you have that feeling in your gut, your intuition, your divine download, your calling, what have you, Nike it. You just do it. Because I love that phrase. There is never going to be a perfect time. There is never going to be, I think I could equate it to having kids. You are never going to be ready to be a parent. You even have 9 months prep time once you know, well, let's say 8 months, give or take. Once you know that there's a baby on the way. And those 8 months go by so fast, and you get there, and everything that you thought you knew doesn't apply to your kid. Like, well, I'm supposed to do this.
Yeah, it's the perfect example. And I compare business a lot to becoming a parent, but you're so right. And like, I even took all the classes. I read all the books. I knew all the things. But then that baby arrives and you're like, oh shit, what have I done? What am I doing? Yes. And it took years to figure out. And I don't think it's been 10 years now and I still haven't figured it out. But again, like what you're saying, like just do it. Just go for it. You figure it out as you go.
And that, I love that you said that. It is beautiful because do we even know how to be alive? I don't know what I'm doing in life. No. I know that I need to buy groceries to survive. I need to pay my bills in order to have a roof over my head and heat, all of these nice things. But I don't actually know what I'm doing. I'm winging it.
But what is so beautiful about you and your presence is that that is okay. Because the norm is that we have it all together, or at least we want people to perceive that we have it all together, that we are handling it all, that we've got it. We are, we can carry and juggle all of these different things and all of these different plates, and it's fine. We've got it, and everything's good, and we look pretty, and it's fine. But really, the beauty is that embracing the mess, right? Mm-hmm. Embracing like the not knowing, not that you're a mess or you look a mess or your life is a mess, but totally just embracing the not, no, well, me too then, but just embracing the imperfection, I guess, that is the day-to-day and the simple things in life. And even the big things like relationships and business and parenting, right? Like it's so messy and it's so imperfect. Mm-hmm. But once we can walk away from the idea that we need to have it all together, that's where you really start to, I think, find yourself. Like, it's exactly what you've been talking about.
Well, and you said something in there. It's how we perceive it. And it's a perceived normal. Mm-hmm. And I think my favorite part about that, what we perceive as normal is anything but.
Right.
Right. There is no normal.
Right. There is no norm. Like, what even is normal? And the other piece of that, too, I think, is, like, we compare ourselves constantly to what it should be. But again, what is the should? Like, who said the should? I don't know where the should or the normal came from, but we constantly are comparing ourselves. Okay, so going back to your question or your answer to, you said, just do it. And then what was the second part of that?
I say it's the twofold.
Yeah.
So that perception actually plays into it. Uh-huh. The second side is to turn your pain into your power. Because if your life is how you perceive it, right? Mm-hmm. I felt like a victim for a really long time. And this is because of that relationship, not necessarily the education. But I felt very victimized for a while until the day that I said, and before I say this, I need to preface it, anyone in an abusive situation, in like a toxic anything, when some other person or entity is doing you harm, it is not your fault. It is never your fault for what someone else does. Mm-hmm. Now that said, I had to choose to accept my fault in the situation because I knew who this man was and I stayed anyway. The day that I accepted that, and the day that I accepted the part that I played in my own pain, was the day that it wasn't painful anymore. It was the day that it became powerful. And I said, okay, I had the capacity to change this a year ago, and I didn't, but I still do today. So in that, not only do you just do it, but own your story, own your part of your life. Because at the end of the day, that is what's going to get you over the hurdle more than anything else, is knowing that you are the captain, the navigator, and the ship of your own life.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Like, I have goosebumps. I'm like sweating now that you said that. Like, it's so good. And even though, like, in a good way, I think because for me, it brought up a lot of feelings about teaching and that relationship that I had with teaching too. And again, not to play down your or anybody's abusive relationship at all, but I think for a long time I victimized myself too. Like, can you believe this is happening to me? Can you believe this happened today? Oh my gosh, look at what's happening now. But again, exactly what you said, once you realize that like I have a choice and I get to decide what I'm going to put up with, and like, or if I'm just going to sit there and complain about it and be the victim, like, no.
And I love that you brought up the complaint aspect, right? Because how normalized is that in our society? We get together with friends or family, and how often is there talk of, oh, well, what are you doing in your life? What good is happening for you? And especially in this coaching industry, right? We focus so much on, tell me your little wins. What has gone good for you? I don't care how small it was. I don't care if it was the fact that, like, for the first time in a week, you got up and made yourself breakfast. Hell yeah. You have to celebrate that. And in our society, it's become so normal to complain. Well, this is going wrong, and I can't catch a break here. Well, what do? You continue the victim stigma, and you willingly, unconsciously keep yourself in a victim cycle. But when you decide to change that, my brother's barn burnt down recently. My brother is 2 months away from having his first child. And all of a sudden, their barn is down. Their house has become their barn. They're not totally ready for the baby to get here. And I was down there a couple weeks ago while they were rebuilding. And his wife actually made a comment, well, what can you do? Just laugh about it. And we are laughing about the fact that they're rebuilding a barn, because what good does complaining get you?
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't. And that's like always the question, like what good? It doesn't really do anybody any good. But don't get me wrong, I do love a good happy hour. So if you need to complain for a little bit at happy hour, do it, and then what are you going to do to fix it? Like, don't stay in that cycle. Yeah.
It's always the second question. Like, all right, get it out, get it off your chest, right? You need to unpack it. But you've said it once. All right.
Now what?
Now fix it. Now do something to change your situation. Yes.
Oh, I love it. Oh, thank you so much. There's so many little great gems in here. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Now, I don't think we got to this. What are you doing now? Tell us what you're doing now.
Okay,
we didn't get to a lot of things on the list.
Oh my gosh, I know.
But go ahead.
Well,
we'll have to do another episode.
I was going to say, before we wrap up, can we touch on what we were going to? Because I know that there's a piece of it in here.
Of course, yes.
Because this also goes in with I think we discussed this briefly, our twofold. What do you tell somebody who's making a big change? I probably should have said it's threefold.
It's tenfold.
It really is.
Yeah, I know.
I guess this would be the final piece. It's not as scary as you're making it out to be. And it really is fabricated anxiety.
Yes.
Because
tell us a little bit more about that. Tell me a little bit more about that.
We are living inside our heads, and that's where things become a problem. It's so daunting to leave this career. It's terrifying to move out of state or move more than 5 blocks from where you grew up. It's nerve-wracking to leave that relationship. It's kind of anxious or anxiety-inducing to have kids. But all of that is centered around the fact that you are playing out, I couldn't even tell you how many different scenarios in your head. You are creating realities that more often than not will never exist.
Yep.
But if it's all about coming back to the present moment, coming back to your reality, right? And when you can do that, it's so much of grounding yourself, using your senses. What do you have right here, right now? And when you play that piece of it, right, we can eliminate so much anxiety from our own lives by saying, okay, this hasn't happened. I'm grounding myself. What is around me right now? What are 5 things that I see? What do I hear around me? And it soaks you back into this present moment instead of getting caught up in these what ifs. Because there are what ifs until the end of time. You leave
So
teaching. What if I'm unsuccessful? What if I don't find another career path? What if my kids are ashamed? What if I let my coworkers down? Anything. There is so much there. But
and
it's all what
never, if. Yeah, and it's always the what ifs are like the negative, right? It's never like, what if I succeed? What if this really works out? What if I come upon this beautiful thing that I didn't even know was there, and now this opportunity is available to me because I did X, Y, and Z? It's always the negative.
So what if I fulfill my purpose? What if I become fulfilled? But we are hardwired, or I guess societally wired, to look at that negative. And that's where that anxiety comes from. Like, no, bring yourself back into the present moment. I had fabricated anxiety about this conversation. I'm writing down my notes. Okay, what do I say? What do I want to say? What should be said? What should I leave out? But then I get on here, and I see your beautiful smiling face, and we have our little conversation. And it's just, it's very natural, because what's right in front of me is the next question, is the next comment.
Yeah, and it goes back, like we were talking about before, is that trust, right? That trust in yourself, that whatever is supposed to come out or come in, or, anything, that's what it should be. And there it is. You just trust yourself.
And I think that then becomes the challenge, is how does one rebuild trust in themselves? Because it looks different for everybody. And so much of that is then you have to listen to yourself. You have to get in touch with your mind. You have to hear your soul. You have to listen to your body. Like, one of the easiest ways to rebuild trust in yourself, when it comes to eating, when you are full, stop. If you're not hungry, don't eat. Because then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I feel great. When you're hungry, you eat, and you begin in your physical body to rebuild trust. Oh, I'm not going to eat when I'm not hungry and then be exhausted. And then you work your way up from there to these bigger things. Trust yourself to make the right decision for you.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. And here's the other thing with that too. I think that, like, everything you say, I'm like, yes. I think the piece of this too is that, like, okay, so I am really working, let's just use the eating example. Like, I'm working on eating, like, or stopping eating when I'm full. So I do it for, like, 3 meals, and then the 4th meal, I blow it. It's giving yourself grace to mess up and then get right back to it. You're like, there it is.
Okay. So I adore the give yourself credit piece, because I was going to say this a while back, but then we veered a different direction. So I told you about the program that I have launching, Level Up.
Yes.
I'm not going to give a ton about it away.
No.
But there is a piece of it, right? There is a piece of it that's focused on giving yourself credit. And I think this sort of circles back to when you're leaving a situation, right? How do you overcome that scary, messy action? Well, give yourself credit for what you've done in life so far. Stop downplaying your successes, right? You've gotten to your 25th, your 30th, your 40th, your 50th year. When you've gotten that far, you've done something right every single day. So stop undermining your own victories.
Yes. And I think it is so, so difficult to do that. Like, if you go, to just any random person on the street and you're like, hey, what great thing have you done today? What are you proud of yourself for today? People are going to be like, I don't know. Like, we're so conditioned to focus on the negative and the bad and the, oh, this went wrong, and oh, I should have said that, and oh, I could have done this differently. But you're so right. Like, giving yourself credit for everything you've done so far and anchoring yourself into that evidence, right? That, oh yeah, I have done really hard things before in the past. I have done really scary things, and I made it out, and look who I was on the other side. Like, I was better. There's no difference here. There's no difference.
Well, and let's bring this full circle if we can. How selfish is it of us to give ourselves credit. But by doing so, I don't know about you, but when I give myself credit, when I'm my own hype girl, I can then go to my friends and my family. And when they're down in the dumps, I can say, all right, now tell me 2 things that went right today. And I was so damn selfish. I was so damn self-centered on giving myself the credit that I deserve, that I've learned how to pull it out of other people. And now they're going to focus on that, and they're going to go to their friends, and we're going to create this ripple effect naturally.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Be more selfish. Give yourself the damn credit.
It's rewriting the story of like that selfish is a bad thing. That's like huge here. I feel like that's been the underlying lesson, moral theme of this story here.
All of the above.
I love it. Okay. Thank you so much. Now, we were going to tell us what you're doing now. Tell us what you do now.
Oh, yes. What am I doing now? Yes. Okay. So in the business world, I am creating, I guess it's created. I'm launching my, oh gosh, how many weeks is it? My 14-week group program called Level Up. My twofold with a 1-week break to ultimately just completely turn your life a 180. Turn it on its head. And its entire focus is about coming back to your soul and then rewriting your story from that point on. Get back in touch with yourself, right? Because in life, we've talked about this without saying as much. In an abusive relationship, which is where this stems from, in a toxic career relationship, in an unfulfilled life, how easy is it to lose yourself to what should be?
Yes. Yes.
And this is about not who you should be, but who you are. And knowing that who you are is enough. But you also have the freedom to choose who you are, to show up how you want to create and build the life of your dreams. So that is my ultimate goal with this program. That is what I'm doing. I am really just growing the business at this rate, expanding across the country. And yeah, I'm going to see where it takes me.
Oh, I love it. Okay, so tell us where we can find you. Where would be the best place if people really resonate with you and they want to find more Liv? Where can we find you?
Well, I would love to have you because I love new friends. I love all the friends.
Yes.
And I am on Instagram and Facebook. I feel like a grandma saying that. I'm not a TikTok person. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm not a TikTok person.
At least you didn't say like MySpace. I think I'm older than you.
Gosh.
So do you remember MySpace?
Are you kidding me? I loved MySpace.
Okay.
When you get to get on there and have your top 3 friends and like shame them when you're mad at one of them. You put your song of the week on your profile.
Yes.
Oh, I love it.
Yes.
No, so I am on both of those.
Anyways.
My
Focus.
Instagram handle is @FoxyCoach. Not because I'm conceited, but because Fox is my last name. I promise. It's just meant to be funny.
Oh, no. Stop. You can be conceited, right? Remember, we're rewriting that
selfish.
story. We can be selfish. We can say that you are absolutely beautiful. I'll say it.
Thank you.
So you own it too, girl. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. But that is my Instagram. My Facebook is just Olivia Fox.
Perfect.
But the link, or right, how you can create your little Facebook handle is also that Foxy Coach.
Perfect. I'll put it all in the show notes too, so they can click and go.
Perfect.
I was just thinking on Instagram we should start like a I don't know like what it would be called, like a hashtag or a week-long thing, something where we just post like things that are going well or like celebrations, like brag on yourself.
Yes. Oh my gosh. We could do
it?
Lives.
Oh, we could. Yes.
We could do like a live on. Yeah, we'll figure that out another time. But that'll be so much fun.
So you guys stay tuned for that. You guys, it's gonna be great.
And I'm gonna give you one last place.
Yes, please.
The one that's different, but this is my website, so packages are on there.
Perfect.
I also dabble in blog. It's only really ever when I feel like it.
Yeah.
But just those random little stories, they all have little anecdotes at the end of them about what's helped me. My ultimate goal with the blog is I love writing. I love journaling. I find it very cathartic. So to be able to share my life experiences and what I've learned from them with other people, it's just a fun way to do that. And
it's like
that
a living
is,
like diary or living journal, I guess.
So much.
Yeah.
I mean, journaling is a whole different topic we could get into, but that one is livethelifecoach.com.
Perfect.
Because like I said, I have no brand. There's no consistency.
No, you are your brand. It's all good.
Yes.
So I will link all of that in the show notes for people to find you. People can stay tuned. Oh, we're recording this too. I don't even know what day it is. What day is it? It's October 19th. Yeah.
Yes.
Of 2023. So when is your program launching? When is the Level Up program launching?
Oh, all right. So the program will be launched by this coming Monday, the 23rd, and it begins the week of November 9th. So it's going to be about a 2-week sign-up period.
Okay.
And I'm offering 2 different sessions of it. One is going to be Tuesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and the other will be Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. So that would be November 7th and 8th that it's beginning.
Perfect. Okay. So what if they're listening to this after that?
If they're listening to this after, I mean, they can always sign up for the second half because it is twofold. So they are more than welcome to be a part of Rewrite Your Story. And then, honestly, they'll just get like the workbook from the first section to work through at their own pace. But if not, I am always down for, like, let's connect. Let's have a call, see if you want one-to-one coaching, because I would love that. My favorite thing in life is being a hype girl. So, like, I will hype you up.
Yes.
And, whatever.
Perfect.
It's time to change the world.
And I bet you'll probably run this program multiple times too, because from what you've told me, it sounds amazing, and I'm sure you're going to impact so many lives with it. So maybe there'll be a wait list too if people are too late and
it's coming back at least once a year.
Perfect. Okay, cool. Well, thank you so much, Liv, for joining us. So many good little nuggets here and good little gems of wisdom. And I'm so excited for everybody to hear this and listen to it. You are the best. And thank you so much for being here today.
You are wonderful. Thank you for having me.
Yes. Okay. We'll see you guys soon. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Beyond the Classroom. If you know something has to change and you're ready to take the next step to make it happen, whether it's in or out of the classroom, let's talk it through together. Schedule a no-obligation chat with me and we can talk through where you're stuck, how to get you unstuck, and how to keep you moving forward. Schedule your free call today by clicking the link in the show notes. I can't wait to connect with you.